guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate, or I go by AlwaysMoreSims here on YouTube, and today we're taking a look at the screenshots from Generation 3 of my I'm a Lover challenge. I have 230 pictures from this generation, which is probably the most pictures I think I've ever taken for really about anything. But yeah, so we finished this generation up this past, what was it, Monday? And no, we finished it, today's Monday. We finished it on Friday. And it was it was a pretty hectic last part. If you didn't watch it, I won't say who passed away, but we had 2 different family members pass away, and you know, that was obviously rough. It was also Rodney's birthday, so he's now a young adult, and we had him become official with one more sim just to kind of round out the part and like have it to where it was like a normal length part. And now we will be moving back over to the FIG challenge. So if you don't know what the FIG challenge is, FIG stands for every generation there's a genre. And to keep myself from growing bored, just doing one challenge, I ended up deciding that I was going to switch back and forth between 2 challenges, one being in The Sims 3, one being in The Sims 4. And so that's what we ended up doing. I started with the FIG challenge, where again, like every generation is based off a different genre of book. So the first generation was based off of children's books, the second generation was based off of biographies, third generation based off of fantasy, and this upcoming generation is actually based off of medical journals. But like after finishing one generation of FIG, I then switched to this challenge, which I'm a Lover, and then when a generation ends, then I switch back to FIG, and I just go back and forth. If anything, again, it just kind of helps me keep my sanity. So it's just, I don't know. I always feel like I'm really getting into the groove of one challenge just for the generation to end, and I have to like switch over to the other challenge, and then I'll get into a groove with that one, and then the generation ends and I have to switch back. But it kind of sucks because this upcoming generation for FIG challenge is very similar to the next generation of I'm a Lover. Both generations are going to have our heirs, which they both happen to be boys, that, you know, they don't really have much of a relationship. They have one kid. They don't really pay much attention to said kid. So the next generation for I'm a Lover is my parents didn't believe in love until they found each other. I think it's ridiculous. So Rodney has to have the serial romantic aspiration and have more than one romantic interest at a time. He can never get married. He will move in with one of his romantic interests, become serious with them, have one kid, and I myself am choosing that he will have said kid with this strong romantic interest. And then the kid will find us cheating, which will cause us then to, you know, break off this serious relationship and all that stuff. So that's the next generation of I'm a Lover. And then the next generation of FIG it's a different storyline because the like quote for it is "I hate death." In your parents' fantasy books, the character sometimes died. Ever since you were small, you despised death and illness. You instead wanted to make people well, so there would be less chance of them dying. Be in the medical career, have one kid, read only medical journals, have the genius trait. So there's a lot less going on with FIG. I guess he like Reed, which is our heir, doesn't necessarily have to be like uninvolved, but I guess to me just kind of, I don't really see him settling down. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. But the next generation of FIG, I'm gonna be fully transparent here, I'm not really looking forward to. I just think it's gonna be really boring. And I guess, you know, if I really wanted to, I could skip it. But I'm not going to, since I've already had, you know, Reed, and Reed has the genius trait and all that stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just, after that, there's not really much for Generation 5 of Feig, but Generation 5 of I'm a Lover is going to be absolutely insane. We have to have as many kids as possible. Like, there's just a lot going on in Generation 5 that we have to move out as soon as possible, never speak to parents again, live in a nice house that's decorated and large enough for our family to grow, learn all the traits of the sim that we're, of a sim before we start dating them, get married to a nice sim, have as many kids as possible, and then, like, there's a twist that I'm not really gonna spoil just yet, but I don't know, it's whatever. It's whatever. The next generation is going to be really quick of Feig because there aren't really any requirements for it. So, like, if I'm following just, like, the basic rules of the generation, I'm basically just aging Reed's child, like, having Reed get in the medical career, you know, have a kid some way, and then raising the kid to a young adult, and then the generation will end, and I'll come back to I'm a Lover. So, I don't know. I don't really know what else to talk about. Okay, I have my Christmas foster. I had this dog last year for Christmas. Well, it's called Holiday Breakout. So, you know, because not everybody celebrates Christmas, but we do. So I just get in the habit of saying Christmas for everything. But he came to the shelter last November, and he was one of the last dogs chosen for Holiday Breakout. And last year, a friend and I actually went in and we gave all the dogs a bath, and he's actually the only dog that wouldn't let us give him a bath. Like, he, like, freaked out big time. But when I sent my parents pictures of the last 3 dogs, my parents were like, oh, bring him home. Well, they didn't realize how big he is because he's a greyhound mix. So he's absolutely humongous. And he was a panini puppy, you know, like, he was, like, bought from a breeder, adopted from a shelter, I'm not sure what, but he was, you know, brought into a family as a puppy during the pandemonium, and then his owners were able to go back to work, and he was left home alone, and he didn't know how to process that, what to do about it, and freaked out. And now we've been told he has separation anxiety. He has been adopted 4 times and brought back every time for said separation anxiety. But the thing is, I don't know. I have yet to actually witness his separation anxiety. My dad and I had we did an experiment yesterday where I FaceTimed my dad, and we propped his phone up to where we could see a door. Like, we went and hid in my parents' bedroom, and we had his phone propped so we could see the door. And I don't want to say his name because he's sleeping right next to me, and I don't want to possibly wake him up, but my pup, we had him, again, he was looking at the door, and he just kind of whined at the door, kind of looked around, and then he just laid down and looked at the door. Like, so we have yet to actually see some, like, serious separation anxiety. So I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, I feel like super scatterbrained, and I'm running out of time, but I feel like there's a lot of different factors, and I wasn't there to experience any of the times he's been adopted out, but I don't know if he's like, these people are adopting him are given the warning, hey, he has separation anxiety, and because of that, they already kind of have almost a negative against him. So like, as soon as he starts to show like signs of anxiety or whatever, that they think he's gonna like freak out, or like, he is a known toy destroyer. It's like a known thing at the shelter. There's a sign on his kennel that like, hey, I will destroy toys and like tear them to shreds. I don't know if he was tearing up toys and they're like, oh my gosh, this is him freak. I don't know. Like, there's so many different key factors here that could like really determine how he is. I don't know if he's always the only dog in the house or what, but we're actually going to hang on to him for an extra week. We're going to see if we can work through this separation anxiety. My video is coming to an end though. I will probably talk about it some other time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.